I have fine chopped 2 organic cabbage. I washed them thoroughly before chopping them. Adding 1 spoon of rock salt per cabbage. Now let's get started with some mixing. The whole process requires good mixing of the cabbage with the rock salt. This will ensure that the cabbage releases enough liquid in which our sauerkraut is supposed to be submerged during the fermentation process. So what happens is that the bacteria in the cabbage will break down the sugar that's there in the cabbage, forming lactic acid, which acts as a natural preservative, avoiding the growth of unwanted bacteria. So if you are thinking why eat fermented cabbage when you can eat it raw, so when you ferment it, it increases the bioavailability of certain amino acids, especially the ones like L-glutamine, which is really good for sealing of the mucosal lining. Sauerkraut is an amazing prebiotic to feed your gut bacteria. Not only this, it's an amazing probiotic as well. So here you see now it's mixed well. Now take a clean mason jar. I usually boil the jar in hot water before filling it. When you're filling it in the jar, it's very important to ensure that there are no air gaps. I am using a pestle to press the contents in the jar. That will also help in releasing more liquid from the cabbage. This is the most tricky part in the process of making sauerkraut. You really need to make sure that the contents are submerged and the liquid of the cabbage comes on the top. So once we have pressed it well, we can close the jar and keep it on the kitchen counter away from direct light for 4 days. 4 days is good enough for fermentation. So here I'm making another version with 1 red cabbage and a white cabbage. Added 2 spoons of rock salt to it and 1 spoon of cumin seeds to give an extra flavor to it. Mixing it well, mix until the cabbage starts releasing enough liquid. It can be a tiring process, but trust me, when you eat this, you'll love it. So sauerkraut is made by anaerobic fermentation, which means oxygen isn't required. So you need to make sure that there are no air pockets when you fill in the cabbage, the sauerkraut in the jar. During the process of fermentation, you might see some air bubbles on the top, or if you see a layer of scum or a moldy layer, just remove it and press the contents back into the jar, ensuring that the sauerkraut is covered with the liquid. During the process of fermentation, you can open the jar once in a day to ensure that the contents are covered in the liquid. You can just press it with a pestle or a spoon. I usually keep it for 4 days, and after 4 days it's good, nice, sour and crunchy. And that's what it is on the 4th day, and I'm just going to take it now and keep it in the fridge. It's all ready to enjoy.